Welcome to our series, Mothers Who Inspire. It's great to be here. It's great to have you here. And tonight's guest is Blanca Leos. You are the Mountain West Regional Director of PFLAG, and you've been on that board as well. And you have a son who came out, I believe, 11 years ago, if that's accurate.
Yes. Yes. My son Leo came out when he was 14. When we got in the car, I asked him, I'm like, are you ready to talk and tell me what's going on? And he's like, give me a moment. And I'm like, okay. So before we even got out of the parking lot, he's like, Mom, I'm gay. And I sat there and, with my first, you're in the car, you're kind of trying to process and figure out what's going on. But I was like, okay. And I'm like, well, I'm here for you for whatever you need. We'll get through this together. But at first I really didn't know if that was even the right reaction, if you will. Like I look back now and I'm like, was that the right thing for me to say to my son?
You want my answer
And then
to that?
yeah.
Kind of amazing that you instinctually knew the perfect thing to say, which is, it's okay, and I'm here for you. It doesn't get much better than that.
I guess the reason why I cried now looking back is because I was really, really scared for my child. I come from a Latino background. We don't talk about the community. It's very machista, if you will. Very against LGBT in some areas. I also am Catholic, so that's another layer on top of it is what does that mean for me and my beliefs and my religion. I've always had a very open relationship with my son. He can pretty much talk to me about anything, and he'll tell you sometimes he talks to me about things that I really do not want to know about, but at the same time I wanted him to have that freedom because I did grow up in an environment where we never talked about sex. We never talked about relationships. It was something that was kept, behind the closed doors, and we never talked about feelings. There was no way that anyone in my family is okay with counseling or seeking out places like that, because it's just not part of our culture. We just we don't do that. We kind of don't air out our dirty laundry. When we were going through divorce, our priest told us, he put us in separate rooms. He asked us what was driving us to be separated, and we said, my ex admitted that when we had Leo, he became second to me, and he was not used to that. He was not used to me, having Leo be the main person in my life. So he was struggling with that. He's like, I don't want to be jealous of my own son, obviously, but it's been really hard for me to get over that. He asked him, if Leo or your wife were hanging over a cliff, who would you lift up? And you could only save one person. Who would you save? And he said, me. Well, he asked me the same thing, and I said, Leo. Well, when we came back and we were talking about the situation, he's like, well, this is where the breakup is. And he's like, do you know what he said? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, he said that he would rescue you. But you said that you would rescue Leo. And I said, yes. I as a mom, I've always felt like he comes first. You can never get remarried, but you can always have other kids if you're still married to your husband. And I could not fathom that. Like, I just could not put it through my head that was okay. I was like, this person is dependent on me. This person is relying on me for guidance, relying on me to get him through life and to show him. Whereas to my husband, I felt like he's an adult. He can move on, things are going to be okay, and he's lived his life. I also feel like, so if something were to happen to him, it's okay, but the priest did not like my answer.
I was shocked when you shared this with me because I don't think anyone should even entertain a question like this where a parent would have to choose between a spouse and a child. And certainly no mother should ever be corrected for choosing their child.
No, I believe, there's something bigger, and I believe in God and I believe in all that. However, I don't believe in hate. I don't believe that that's what God intended. And so I felt like, I'm not going to push my son away. And the other thing that I've always told people is I don't feel in my heart I did anything different to to have a gay son than my sisters. And we come from the same background, same
Yeah,
family, same everything. And so I believe that's how it was meant to be, and that's what God blessed me with.
yeah,
So I encourage Leah to be who he is, and I'm blessed to have him in my life the way
good.
that he was born.